Okay, right back where we're at. This is going to be part two of D-Day, Axis, and Allies. Just a strategy going through the gameplay. Okay, the fourth card is anti-aircraft fire. So basically, any of your Axis, like I was telling you earlier, the artillery acts just like an AA gun. So if you were to put a fighter in this zone right here with the AA gun, now on this card I would get to shoot at it. It just makes sense. You're a plane, anti-aircraft gun, you get to fire at it. Okay, so that's you want to think about that when you're placing out your fighters. You really don't want to put them in a zone that has an AA gun. Now, you can risk it, but what you got to think about is there's 10 turns of this game. If you lose your fighters or your bombers on these early turns, you don't have them the rest of the game. They do not come back. So you really don't want to risk shit on your first couple turns because you don't want to lose a fighter or a bomber right off the bat. It really will screw you. You need all the advantage you can get as the Allies because the Germans, they're going to outnumber you and they can get reinforcements to these cities, and it's really tough to take these cities. So really don't risk your fighters and bombers, okay? So naturally, I did not put any fighters in a zone that has an AA gun. But on the other hand, as the Axis player, what I do is I generally, on the reinforcement zones down here at the bottom, I will keep one, and even if I can, two AA guns in them. That way the bomber won't come and bomb the shit out of, things, and the fighters won't just like land in it. Because just like these two guys right here, yeah, I blocked it. I could have just as easily put them there. And they still, even if they do move out of this zone, I still get to shoot at them. So the way to stop that as the Axis player is to put a damn AA gun there, and they won't be able to do that. And what I do like to do is I'll have a couple AA guns here, a couple AA guns here, and two AA guns there. So I'll have like basically a road that will definitely be plane free to get to the front line. That's the way you stop the Allies from just putting the planes out and really screwing you over where you can't get reinforcements. Because if the guy starts getting hot on the dice with the planes and hitting all your reinforcements, you're going to lose as the Axis player. So you got to do a little strategy with that. You got to have AA gun coverage. That's what I do, and it seems to work. I've never lost with the Axis when I do that. So anyway, fifth card. This is your bombers card. Okay, you place the bombers, in any zone, and you try to hit them. The key to the bomber, though, the little trick, is you cannot put them in a zone that has allies, like allies, ground troops. So I couldn't put them here on this zone because we got the airborne guys. And later in the game, you'll have troops in these zones, and you just can't put them there. And it makes sense. It's a bomber. They carpet bombed back then. It ain't like, the precision bombing that they do nowadays. So anyway, it makes sense. Common sense. Okay. So basically, you put them out. Like, the reason I didn't put a fighter on this tank is because I was going to bomb it. Okay. And then I could have did this other tank, but I really wanted to just block these other guys from getting to this city. And now this bomber, I can use it anywhere. You just don't want to put it in the AA gun zone. I mean, you can. I mean, the guy has to get, a 2 or a less, or a 1 or less, but it's just not worth risking it this early in the game. And, really going after infantry is kind of, silly. You want to try to kill the tanks with the bombers. So what we're going to do, we're going to put them up here. And that's another key thing. With the bombers, you get to pick what unit dies in the zone if you get a hit. So that's a big advantage. You get to pick the tank if you want the tank dead. One second. All right. So right here we will we'll do this roll. I need a 3 or less to get the hit. Boom, got it. Tank dead. Okay. Now up here, the British bomber, and he misses. Okay, so now the next card, the 6th card is there any AA guns in that zone where you put the bomber? No, there isn't. Okay, so we go right by that card. Okay, now the bombers return. Okay, they go back. So basically you only get to use them once per turn. But they are kind of strong. They hit on a 3 or less. Okay, 8th card. If I can pick it up here. Okay, now this is where the Allies move. So basically, you're just moving any units that are already on land. Okay, but like I told you the rules, you can't move these guys because they're engaged in combat with some Axis troops already in that same zone. Same with these guys, same with these guys. So they can't move. So we have no moves this turn with the Allies. Okay, now we have the pillboxes or blockhouses shooting out at sea at the guys coming ashore. So you roll 1 die for each pillbox against the target Allies land unit. A roll of 3 or less gets a hit. So basically where you see these little red lines is where, you get to shoot. So we'll start up here in top left. We got 1 up there. We're going to roll and we get a hit. It doesn't say that we get to pick as the Axis. So basically Allies can just pick whatever they want to die. Okay, so we're on the next one. Hit. Next one. Miss. So 1 more dies. Okay, now here we already killed those 2 pillboxes, so they don't get to fire at that. Okay, we got 2 here. 1 hit. And then we're on to the next one. We got 1 here. Miss. We got 2. And let's just roll all 3 for all the guys shooting at this one sword beach. And we get 2 hits. Okay. So that was that card. Like I said, if you can start getting hot on the dice, I mean, you can tear some stuff up just like any other game. Okay, 10th card. Allies, they finally land. Okay, so basically all you do is you push into where the arrow says. Oops, my bad. So then these guys go here. I've already moved those ashore. These guys go here. Here. And see, we killed 2 guys right there, so it's really a weak landing there. You see what I'm saying? It's a good job by the Axis to get some hits right there. Okay. Now, the Allies attack. You do not get to choose not to attack. You have to attack. And you just do 1 round of attacking. That's it. So basically, we'll start over here. We got 3 infantry. They hit on a 1 or less, just like every other game of Axis and Allies. And they got a hit. Okay, and now the Axis will get to fire before we just kill them off. The AA guns hit on a 2 or less, and they got a hit. So, 1 infantry of America and 1 AA gun for Germany. But you notice now there's no Axis players left or troops left in that country. They will be able to move freely unless Axis on their move some more in there. So anyway, we're here. We got 4 infantry, no hits, and we got 1 artillery hit. Okay, so they got 1 hit. So they got 1 hit. They're gonna kill 1. Okay, and then we got infantry. Oh, we'll do the pillboxes. Only rolls at a 1 or less. Miss. Infantry is a 2 or less. Miss. So basically, they only lost 1 guy. Now, see, that sucks for the Allies because now they can't move these guys next turn because there's still a unit left of the Axis. Okay? Damn, we're already at the end of this video. Alright, so that's part 2. Check out part 3. Subscribe, like the video. Appreciate y'all's support.